It's working. Face detect working.
During the Meanwhilst. No.
Well, hello, it's Dexter and me, and a bit of a departure in this video. We're nothing really to talk about, so I figured perhaps we could have a hanging out with during the Meanwhilst, with Dexter and me. I might never do this again. It might become a regular thing on the channel. Let's see. It's just going to be talking about whatever really, and then if it does kick off, we can have like a Q&A. So I will do another one of these in a couple of weeks or a few weeks time. So if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me about anything really, photography gear, music, video, Dexter, life in general, ask me whatever you want. Myeloma, there we are, that'd be a good one. Ask me what you want. So yeah, I figured I would just sit down, riff off the top of my head now, and just have a chat about things. Fujifilm to start with. They've just a couple of weeks ago released the XH2S. I'm not going to say I was underwhelmed, because it looks like a huge technical advance in a camera if you're more into your video. If, like me, you're more into stills, you might be looking for something like an XT5 or an XH2 with perhaps a more densely packed sensor. Now, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in the next year or so when my back crumbles to the extent that I can't carry my GFX 100. And I could either take my daughter with me everywhere I go and she can carry it for me, but I don't think that's going to happen really, do you? It's not fair to ask Lisa to do it, so I'm going to need a lighter kit. Now, we talked about this last year when I tossed around some ideas about what I was going to get, and Micro Four Thirds is still very much on the menu. It's a possibility, put it that way. Then, but if Fujifilm come out with a 30 megapixel plus XT5, then I think I might be all over that. An XH2 maybe, but one thing I don't particularly like about the XH2S is the move away from like the analog controls. Now, I know I'd get over that pretty quickly, I think, if I had to. But one of the reasons for buying Fujifilm in the first place was that old school analog experience. But I guess times change, and we have to change with them sometimes. And yeah, maybe I will have to forgo that. But hopefully not. Hopefully an XT5 will come out with, well, the rumor is a 40 megapixel sensor. It might be a bit too much for an APS-C. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But if something like that does come out, then I think I probably would sell my GFX 100 and go all in with an XT5 or an XH2 for my stills work. I think I'd keep this XT4 that I'm filming on now for video, because it's a cracking video camera. It's a very good stills camera as well, but it's a really, really good video camera, and I'd keep it for that. I bought a new camera, and there'll be a full-on release video in a couple of weeks, but it is a Nikon D700. Is it Nikon or Nikon? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, and I will pronounce it the correct way. Probably not from this day forward, but yeah, I've bought myself a Nikon D700 to replace my D90. And the reason behind that was I was really enjoying my D90 with my 105mm f 2.8 macro G lens, but I was yearning after something a bit different, and already owning the XT4 and the XE1, having a third crop sensor camera didn't really make much sense. So the D700 reunites me with a camera, if you like, then that I've loved for a long, long time. And it gives me that shallower, creamier bokeh or depth of field that a full frame sensor affords. Yeah, so that's about it on the photography front. It's slim pickings this time of year for landscape stuff. I mean, I do much landscape shooting in the summer, so I've been kind of enjoying nature and macro stuff. Yeah, on those nature walks, I do enjoy doing them, but they're hard work. I can't walk far, right? I walk probably about 30 yards, then I have to stop. Then I'll walk another 30 and I stop again. And it's hard work. It really is hard work. So, and I got Dexter then constantly, like, pulling and pulling or whatever. So I have to rein him in. And it's getting quite hard. And the 7-year anniversary of my stem cell transplant is approaching on the 9th of July. And 7 years since I had that. So 8 years ago in October, I was diagnosed with myeloma. So I just try not to think about it too much. Still try not to think about it too much. But my health is suffering. My mobility is suffering. Then I'm finding walking harder and harder, and in particular the aftermath of it. When I get home, it's a lot of pain. But you got to go through it, because what's the alternative? Eh? Well, the alternative is just sitting in my house, and I reckon if I did that, I'd be dead within 3 months, and that's no exaggeration. No exaggeration. Right. Music-wise, let's talk about music for a little bit. I saw the Queen's Jubilee concert the other day, or some of it. I watched Queen and Adam Lambert opening it. I felt sad. I really did feel very, very sad. It's like Queen are the band, the first band I saw live in the 70s when I was really getting into my music. They were the band that I got into in the mid to late 70s, from A Night at the Opera onwards. And particularly News of the World, when that came out, that really, I couldn't get enough of them then, put it that way. Whenever they were on top of the pops, I loved it. I just couldn't get enough of them. And they were the first band I saw live in 1979. And what I can remember of that 1979 concert was its rawness. Now, Brian May has famously said that when Queen play live, the goal in the first 10 minutes is to deafen and blind the audience. And my God, it was loud, it was bright, it was brash, but it was raw. It was a really raw, visceral experience. My sister and I went, and we were probably, I don't know, we weren't that far from the stage, not touching distance, but within a few meters of the stage. And it was a full-on physical experience, let me put it that way. We were being barged back and forth. The crowd was waving and whatever, and it was quite an experience. I loved every minute of it, I gotta say. But when I saw Queen then in the Jubilee thing, two things crossed my mind. Firstly, and I've always said this, I think they should have stopped when Freddie Mercury died. John Deacon had the right idea. I think they probably should have stopped as a band then, I got to be honest. And secondly, they've grown up. They're old men now, let's be honest. But when I saw, the dads doing I thought, oh no. They become they become mainstream, and I'll still love them, but it's 70s Queen for me. Perhaps the game in 1980 as well. I'll kind of like add that in. That's on the cusp. But if I want a bit of escapism now, I shove some 70s Queen on. What else can we talk about? Oh, my computer. There will be an in-depth video out about this, but I've completely overhauled my computer system. My iMac is, well, I'm gone, it's down there, but it's unplugged and will be for sale. My 16-inch MacBook Pro, Bethan now has that, my daughter has that, and I've completely overhauled my computer system. My workhorse computer is this 14-inch MacBook Pro, and I got the M1 Pro chip. It's a slight upgrade. There are more cores in it, or a bigger neural engine, whatever that means. I have no idea, but it's just not the basic one. So there's more cores, extra storage, whatever. So I got that, and I bought myself a Mac Mini, an M1 Mac Mini. So I'm now completely future-proofed as far as Apple is concerned, for a long time, I think. And that's going to act as my kind of like media server. So I got a number of hard drives and SSDs plugged into that with all my music, all my movies, all my photo files, raw files and completed files, all my video raw files, all my video completed work, all on this Mac Mini. Well, not on the Mac Mini, but plugged into the Mac Mini. And so that's accessible across all the computers in the house. I've given everybody access to that. So you can pull up any file from anywhere and have a look. One of my regular commenters and subscribers, Badger from Spain, Maya Badge, there's a spider on my computer, a man of few words, has suggested that I put Linux on one of my old computers. I have toyed with the idea, but one of the reasons I bought Apple in the first place is I'm not very technically minded, and I just want something to work. I don't want to be like having to worry about whatever to make it, do the simplest of tasks. I'm quite am I a power user? I guess I am really, with Lightroom, Photoshop, and video editing as well. Although I don't use Final Cut Pro, I use iMovie. That's good enough for these videos. So I am a kind of power user, I guess. So I just want stuff to work in the background and not have to worry about, having to patch stuff or whatever. When Apple release like a new operating system or an upgrade to the operating system, do I have to do like anything to work around that? Well, I think that's probably more Hackintosh type things. But do you know what I mean? I just want stuff that I press a button and it works, and I can do stuff, and that's it. So I might still, I've got an old MacBook Pro, a 2015 one up in the loft now doing nothing. So I might install Linux on that, and I don't know, I might even install it on this iMac. I don't know. We'll see if you can install it on iMacs. I have no idea. Anything else? Oh, Springwatch, one of my favourite programs of the year. Springwatch has just come to an end, and it's just 12 hours over 3 weeks of pure magic. I mean, I love nature. I try to be at one with nature as much as I can. I love being out in my garden. We've planted stuff to attract pollinators. We did the No Mow May. I've got like a patch now in my front garden that I haven't mowed, and I've planted some wildflowers in it and some geums in it to attract, bees and butterflies and other pollinators. But yeah, Springwatch came to an end, so I've written to the BBC because I'm sure there's room in their schedule for a 1 hour long weekly program. Call it Nature Watch. There we are. They can have that for nothing. Call it Nature Watch, and just 1 hour a week of escapism. You know, just to get away from the bloody world events for starters. Get away about worrying about cost of living, wars, corona thingy. Stop worrying about all that and just escape for an hour into nature and inspire people to get out and about, and just, as you do, what I'm really enjoying doing with my camera right now is just getting out with it, going on a little nature stroll and snapping away. But if I don't get a photo, it doesn't matter. It's all about the experience of being out in nature, and just enjoying. Not so much when I get home, unfortunately, these days, but just about being out there. So I'm sure there's room if Chris Packham, Miss Michaela Strachan, or whoever, Yolo, my fellow Welshman, to do something, on a weekly basis, because I think people would watch. Yeah, that's about it. And on terms of it, that is about it for this. Chilling with the boys. Yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want me to do it again. If you got a question, as I said at the top of this video, if you got a question, ask me anything. Ask me anything you want. I'll tell you what I'll cover next time then, is how I came about the name for this channel. There we are. I probably have addressed that in the past to a degree, but I will. I'll talk about that at more length. How I arrived at during the Meanwhilst as a name for this channel. There we are. How's that suit? Okay. I say I'm rambling, but I've rambled for the last 19 minutes. Right. Okay. All the very best. I will say it as I always do. Stay safe. Stay well. Look after yourselves, look after your loved ones, look after your little pets, and be a nice person. And write to the BBC and lobby them about Nature Watch. There we are. If enough of us do it, they'll have to listen, won't they? Probably not, no, in this country. But there we are. All right. Bye-bye.